Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you a deck tech of another Grixis Abhorrent Oculus deck that I'm trying out in Pioneer. This one I call Grixis Control. Rather than taking a janky approach of filling our graveyard as fast as possible with Stitcher Supplier and creatures that we can recur from the graveyard, we are instead playing a control strategy, hoping to fill our graveyard with a bunch of cheap interaction to eventually stick an Abhorrent Oculus and run away with the game. So what are some of the differences in the deck, or what's the purpose of this deck? Like I said, cheap interaction, kill spells, ways to draw a card and put something in the graveyard, a little bit of counter magic. Censor, not the greatest counter spell, but we can cycle it to put it into the graveyard and draw a card looking for action. Search for Escanta. Errata to say Surveil now, so every turn we get a Surveil. Croxa as a recursive threat from the graveyard that can close out games quickly. Fable of the Mirror Breaker to dig for our Abhorrent Oculi, and also just a good threat on its own. Overlord of the Flood Pits draws us some cards, lets us discard. Looking for our Abhorrent Oculus. So the deck really is leaning hard on the Abhorrent Oculus to close out games. It's such a powerful threat. We have not that many creatures that when we manifest Dread with it, that we can flip over, but at that, we don't really care. We're hoping to flood the board with 2/2s, kill everything our opponent's doing, and then just win there, close out the game in a couple big attacks. We're missing the Overlord of the Bailmark. I don't think he synergizes as well with this deck, since it puts 4 cards into our graveyard and lets us get a non-avatar creature back, and we don't play enough creatures, I don't think, to really warrant having him. And we play things like Consider and Censor and Search for Escanta to fill the graveyard instead. In the sideboard, Thoughtseizes to fight other control strategies, some more removal, a couple counter spells to help with control, and our spicy dragons. Why the dragons? Well, why not, right? The honest answer, though, is people who bring in the graveyard hate against us, like Rest in Peace or Late on in the Void, turn our Abhorrent Oculus, which is our primary threat in game winning card, into something we can't even cast. So instead of putting cards in the sideboard to fight against other cards graveyard hate, we'll just board out the Abhorrent Oculus in those matchups, bring in big flyers that can close out the game on their own. So no one's going to see it coming, I don't think, and they might bring in graveyard hate and we won't even care about it anymore. So they'll have the dead cards in their deck, and we'll have some very powerful threats in ours. So that's my Grixis Control deck in Pioneer. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be posting gameplay as I get to it. And thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Another edition of Pioneer Curious. Thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, please check out my website where you can read about my various commander brews, watch gameplay of my modern jank, and read my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, that I'm publishing serially. And if you enjoy my content, please check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.